Hello there.
We've conquered those pesky birds. We conquered that psychotic killer at the Bates Motel. We conquered the rope mystery. We conquered the binoculars in Rear Window. And we also conquered the trippy vertigo. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Elie Moses. I did that in one take. I am so happy. A 23-year-old law and film student here from Sydney, Australia. Shittiest shot, baby. I am making my way through the IMDB top 50 for films I have never seen before. Surprisingly, I've actually seen a lot of them, but we are continuing our collection of the Alfred Hitchcock filmography, and today we are going to be watching North by Northwest for the first time. I am hella excited. This is the Alfred Hitchcock film that's eluded me for a while now, but we are finally getting to it. I cannot wait to see what's in store. And yeah, the other films I was going to do today, like I was tossing up between Old Boy, the Korean film, and Apocalypse Now and Full Metal Jacket. And I was just thinking to myself, which one do I do? And I'm just like, I have promised North by Northwest for a while. It was on the poll yesterday with 2001: A Space Odyssey. So I was like, you know what? Let's smash this thing. Let's get it out. Let's get it done. Let's see what Alfred Hitchcock has in store for us today. This is my North by Northwest movie reaction. My first time watching. Let's get into it. Let's smash this thing. Let's have some fun. Let's see what Alfred Hitchcock is cooking up today. Let's go. Ah, Hitchcock cameo. Brother missed his own bust in his own film. Ah, shaking my head.
Maggie, in the world of advertising, there's no such thing as a lie. There's only the expedient exaggeration. You ought to know that. Say, do I look heavyish to you?
What?
I feel heavyish. Put a note on my desk in the morning. Think thin.
Think thin.
Better make it the 59th Street entrance, driver.
Okay.
Please, no errors of judgment, I beg of you.
Oh, come on, fellas. What is this, a joke or something?
Yes, a joke. We will laugh in the car. Come.
Oh, this is ridiculous.
A case of mistaken identity, I believe.
You will wait here.
Oh, don't hurry. I'll catch up on my reading.
I love his sarcastic comments. He's awfully been well composed as well for a man who's been kidnapped and had a gun pointed at his heart. Is it me, or do they look awfully similar?
Now, shall we get down to business?
I'm all for that.
Quite simply, I'd like you to tell me how much you know of our arrangements.
Oh.
And, of course, how you've come by this information. Naturally, I don't expect to get this for nothing.
Of course not.
Don't misunderstand me. I don't really expect you to fall into this question. The least I can do is afford you the opportunity of surviving the evening. Late, I have guests. Do you intend to cooperate with us? I'd like a simple yes or no.
A simple no. For the simple reason I simply don't know what you're talking about.
These guys think Thornhill's part of some
Mr. Captain,
sort
a
of
drink, Leonard.
007
Pleasant journey, sir.
spy agency.
Yeah, but...
They're gonna drive him off the cliff drunk.
Don't worry about me, fella. I'll take the bus.
Man, my guy got that Dominic Toretto luck. That was neat. That was neat. I like how it dissolved into sort of like a sort of like POV shot of what he's seeing and how everything's sort of like blurred and distorted.
Just a minute, please. Here.
Oh, Mother? Mother, this is your son, Roger
He
Thornhill.
called his mum. For one phone call.
And I'll find out. Where am I?
Glen Cove Police Station.
Glen Cove Police Station.
He's very good at acting drunk. He's
No,
very
No,
good.
Mother, I have not been drinking. No, these two men, they poured a whole bottle of bourbon into me. I don't know, I'll ask her. She wants to know who said.
Sergeant Emil Klinger.
Sergeant Emil. Emil? Sergeant Emil Klinger.
Emil.
No, I didn't believe it either. I'm all right, Mother. Good night. Good night. These two fellas.
How much would you
and
say
another
that you
guy-
drank?
What do you say?
How much would you say that you drank?
Oh, about this much.
Mr. Thornhill, it is my opinion that you were definitely intoxicated, and I'm now
No
going
question about stick.
to ask your permission to draw blood.
How disgusting.
You may refuse to permit a blood test to be made, but if you do refuse, your license will be revoked.
7 years, Your Honor.
Do you know him to be a reasonable man?
Absolutely.
Whoa.
Mother.
And do you believe there is some
The mum.
credence to this story?
Credence.
Well, yes, Your Honor. I mean, if my client says this is what happened, I'm certain it must have happened.
Damn right. I mean, after all, Your Honor, would I make up such a story?
That is precisely what we're intending to find out, Mr. Thornhill.
I love how Hitchcock, like, you know, gets right into the thick of things, sorry. Like, immediately. It was just like the first interaction he had at the bar with his mates in terms of where the mistaken identity happened.
Remember me?
Yes, sir.
Good. Is Mr. Townsend at home?
No, I'm sorry he's left for the day, sir.
Mrs. Townsend?
Who shall I say is calling?
County detectives. Oh, we must have cleaned them off. This is the cabinet where they keep the liquor. Scotch, gin, vodka.
They cleaned up, baby.
Bourbon. I remember when it used to come in bottles.
I want you all to know, I never saw this woman before last night.
Mrs. Townsend, I'm Captain Junket of the Nassau County Detectives. This is Lieutenant Harding.
How do you
Oh,
do?
he was in 12 Angry
You
Men.
haven't gotten into trouble, Roger.
Now stop
Has
calling
he
me
gotten
Roger.
into trouble?
Mrs. Townsend, Mr. Thornhill was picked up last night driving while under the influence of alcohol and incidentally in a stolen car
Stolen car.
belonging to Mrs. Babson of Twining Road.
Roger, you said you were going to call a cab. You didn't borrow Laura's Mercedes.
No, I didn't borrow Laura's Mercedes.
Mr. Thornhill has told us that he was brought to this house against his will last night and forcibly intoxicated by some friends of your husband's, then set out on the road. Do you know anything about this?
Well, now, Captain, Roger was a bit tipsy when he arrived here by cab for dinner.
She's lying.
And I'm afraid he became even worse as the evening wore on. Finally, he told us he had to go home to sleep it off. I knew I should have served dinner earlier.
What a performance.
I was about to say.
Does the name George Kaplan mean anything to you?
George Kaplan? No.
I didn't think so.
Well, where's her husband? He's the one you should be questioning.
Is there any place he can be reached?
Why, yes, the United Nations. He's addressing the General Assembly this afternoon.
Damn.
All right, so he's addressing the General Assembly.
Sorry we had to bother you.
No bother at all.
He put on the performance of a lifetime. Oscar. The
Oh, wait a
early
minute.
Oscar goes to Mrs. Townsend.
Will you be wanting to get in touch with my husband, Captain?
No, Mrs. Townsend, that won't be necessary.
Do you mean you're not going to do any more about this?
Roger, pay the $2.
Oh, his mum ain't helping out as well. His mum ain't helping out. Her sly comments.
Do me a favor, will you? Put on that sweet, innocent look you do so well and go to the desk and get the key to 796.
Don't be ridiculous. I wouldn't do such a thing.
$10?
Not for all the money in the world.
50?
Roger, you are disgraceful.
Bribing his own mother.
Half theft, drunk driving, assaulting an officer, lying to a judge.
How'd you know I'm Mr. Kaplan?
Well, of course you are. This is room 796, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So you're the gentleman in room 796, aren't you?
All right, Elsie, thanks.
Will that be all, sir?
For the time being, yeah.
Valet,
Oh, yes, come in.
should I hang in the closet, Mr. Kaplan?
Yes. please. I forgot. What time did I give you that suit?
Last night, around 6.
Oh, did I give it you personally?
personally. No, Mr. Kaplan. You called on the phone and described the suit to me and said it would be hanging in your closet. Like you always do.
Mm-hmm.
Anything wrong?
Oh, no, just curious. Yeah, thanks.
Oh, thank you. Nice to meet you, Mr. Kaplan.
I love how like everything is like falling into place in a way where, because Mr. Kaplan, or like the original Mr. Kaplan, is so secretive in his identity, it's almost as if these people are meeting the Kaplan for the first time. So Thornhill's just like far out, like it's just aligning perfectly for for him, or like for everyone who's put this in place, or Kaplan himself.
Isn't that the damnedest thing? I'm beginning to think that no one in the hotel has actually seen Kaplan.
Maybe
There
he
we
has
go.
his suits mended by invisible weavers.
Oh.
Whoever is the Mr. Kaplan has like perfectly set
Hello,
this
operator.
up.
Operator. Yes? Operator, this is Mr. Thorne, Kaplan in 796. That caller just came through. Where did that come from? Was that an outside call, or did it come from the lobby?
Just a minute, sir. I'll see.
Well, hurry, please.
Who was it?
Only one of the men who tried to kill me last night.
Oh, we're back to that one, are we?
Hello, operator.
Mr. Kaplan.
Yes.
That call was made from the lobby, sir. You gentlemen aren't really trying to kill my son, are you?
Oh shit.
Lobby, please. Watch
I feel so bad for Thornhill here.
Oh, no, gentlemen, please, ladies first. Come along, ladies. That's right. Come along, good.
Roger, will you be home for dinner?
Where to? I don't know. Just keep going.
That's the second taxi he's hustled. Not hustled, but like.
Yes, he expects me.
Your name, please.
My name?
Kaplan.
Yes, please.
He's gonna say Kaplan.
Kaplan, George Kaplan.
You know what would be interesting if like Thornhill like ends up sort of assuming the role of Kaplan, or sort of like embodying the role of Kaplan as the film goes on. Like he starts to use the alias more and more, and then by the end of the film, like he ends up assuming the identity of Kaplan, or something along the lines of that. Like maybe Kaplan is not an actual individual person. Like maybe someone created the figure or the identity of Kaplan for Mr. Thornhill to assume and like embody. I don't know. But I'm just starting to think. It's Hitchcock, man. Anything can happen.
United States Secretary, please. Mr. Kaplan,
Yes?
you wanted to see Mr. Townsend.
Huh?
This
Huh?
is Mr. Townsend.
How do you do, Mr. Kaplan?
This isn't Mr. Townsend.
Yes, it is.
Well, there must be some mistake. Mr. Lester Townsend?
That's me. What can I do for you? Oh, I've been staying in my apartment here in town for the last month. I always do when we're in session here.
Oh, what about Mrs. Townsend?
My wife has been dead for many years.
Oh,
Yo.
Now, Mr. Kaplan, what's this all about?
forgive me, but who are those people living in your house?
What people? The house is completely closed up. Just the gardener and his wife living in the grounds.
Look, do you know this man?
Yo, my guy just got throwing knifed. That's some clutch.
Look!
He's got a knife. Look out!
Listen to me. I had nothing to do with this.
Oh, yo, this is framing 101.
Call the police.
Wait a minute. Don't come any nearer. You get back.
Yo, where's the blood on the knife? Oh, what a bird's eye view shot. Fantastic. I'm guessing that's like probably a miniature design right there. That's a great shot right there.
Our non-existent decoy, George Kaplan, created
There we go.
to divert suspicion from our actual agent.
There we go.
Fortuitously become a live decoy.
Yes, Professor. How long do you think he'll stay alive?
Well, that's his problem.
I'm guessing this
What
is like the
Mrs.
spy
Finley means
agency
is-
here.
Oh, I know what she means.
We can't sit
Or the
back
CIA.
calmly and wait to see who kills him first. Van Damme and company or the police.
What can we do to save him without endangering our own agent? And labored successfully to convince Van Damme that this was our own agent hot on his trail for a desperately important reason.
Pretty smart.
Nobody's denying that.
Very well, then. If we make the slightest move to suggest that there is no such agent as George Kaplan, give any hint to Van Damme that he's pursuing a decoy instead of our own agent, then our agent, working right under Van Damme's very nose, will immediately face suspicion.
Something wrong with your eye?
Yes, they're sensitive to questions. Will you call them?
Sure, sure.
Brother.
Don't go away.
He's at window 15, upper level.
He's gonna be gone by the time you turn around to that left-hand side of the frame.
Mistake.
Yeah. He's gonna be gone. He disapparated, Harry Potter style.
Photograph has been tentatively identified as that of Roger Thornhill, Manhattan advertising executive.
You know what I love about this film so far in terms of its story? It's like very easy to follow. It doesn't overcomplicate things. Like, you know, there's a lot, like there is a lot of parties involved, but I felt like it very easily explained things. Like, I'm following it, I understand it. Well, you just know this individual here just got caught in the crossfire and was basically at the wrong place at the wrong time, or was just by stroke of luck and genius, the role of Kaplan, which is just basically a facade, which is basically a ghost, someone filled in his shoes. And it was this individual. It was basically a case of just wrong place, wrong time, overhearing the wrong thing, and two individuals who work for Van Damme, I'm guessing his bodyguards, assuming the wrong thing, and bang. But I guess it works out well for the agency as well, now that they've got someone assuming the role of Kaplan, because rather than Van Damme figuring out that Kaplan is just a ghost, it protects their undercover agent who is yet to be revealed. And I like that. Nothing technically mind-blowing so far, just Hitchcock doing his Hitchcock thing in terms of the camera work and things like that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
My fault.
She the agent.
Sorry.
She the undercover agent. It's always the blonde woman. I've seen too many James Bond films.
He went that way. I think he got off.
All aboard!
Thank you.
Quite all right.
7 parking tickets.
Oh.
Oh, yo. We gotta rock the shades like Thornhill, don't we? Ray-Bans, baby. We gotta rock him. We gotta rock him. Glasses do not suit me at all. These are my little brothers. They were just in the drawer here.
Before dinner? Yes, please. A Gibson.
I love how he's still rocking the shades. I cannot help it.
Good, because all these women frighten me.
Why?
I don't know. Somehow they seem to put me at a disadvantage.
Because you're not honest with them.
Exactly.
Like that business about the 7 parking tickets?
What I mean is, the moment I meet an attractive woman, I have to start pretending I've no desire to make love to her.
What makes you think you have to conceal it? Makes you think you have to conceal it?
She might find the idea objectionable.
Then again, she might not. I tipped the steward $5 to seat you here if you should come in.
$5. My word, how times have
Is that a
changed.
proposition?
I never discuss love on an empty stomach.
You've already eaten.
But you haven't.
I was about to make a comment, but I will refrain. I will refrain.
It's time we were introduced.
I'm Eve Kendo. I'm 26 and unmarried. Now you know everything.
Cap.
Tell me, what do you do besides lure men to their doom on the 20th Century Limited?
I'm an industrial designer. You're Roger Thornhill of Madison Avenue, and you're wanted for murder on every front page in America.
Yo.
Don't be so modest.
She got the receipts.
Oops.
Don't worry. I won't say a word. And I don't particularly like the book I've started.
Ah.
You know what I mean?
Let me think.
Brother.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean.
Brother. She giving him all the signals. Freaking everything. phone connection, data, Wi-Fi, International Space Station.
Rot.
Roger O. Thornhill. What does the O stand for?
Nothing.
Brother, you can just tell she a wild one in bed. She a wild one in bed.
I'd invite you to my bedroom if I had a bedroom.
A roomette?
Nothing, not even a ticket. I've been playing hide and seek with the Pullman conductor ever since the train left New York.
How awkward for you.
No place to sleep.
I have a large drawing room all to myself.
Oh.
Doesn't seem quite fair, does it?
How unlucky.
Drawing room E, car 3901.
Such a nice number.
It's easy to remember.
The dialogue is so good.
3901.
See?
No luggage.
So?
And you wouldn't happen to have an extra pair of pajamas, would you?
Wouldn't I? Incidentally, I wouldn't order any dessert if I were you.
Hey,
I get the
yo.
message.
Bro.
That isn't exactly what I meant. This train seems to be making an unscheduled stop, and I just saw two men get out of a police car as we pulled into the station. They weren't smiling.
Yo, I'm just gonna say right there, the dialogue between those two is absolutely fantastic. I just feel with older films, they get the romance done right. Like even in Casablanca, this film here, just like it's the romance hasn't even begun, but just the flirting and the dialogue, it's so well written and so well delivered that I'm immediately like immersed in it. Like it's just so good. It's so good. It doesn't feel forced. That's what I was looking for. It doesn't feel forced, and it's just amusing to see like the questions they ask, the way they bounce off each other, the sarcasm, just the way they flirt with each other, the mannerisms. It's all fantastic from both parties right there. It was great. It was great. Like I was amused while watching that. You can see from my reactions as well. I was just like, oh, this is mad the way they're playing with each other.
I'm going to bed soon, and I intend to lock my door, so I doubt if I'll be seeing him or anybody else tonight.
Well, just in case you do, we'll be in the observation car at the rear of the train.
It's comforting to know that. Good night.
What a performance.
Still breathing?
Hurry up and get me a snorkel.
I'm looking for the can opener I stole from the porter. Hello there.
She took the Obi-Wan Kenobi line. Hello there. No, the shades! No! They were iconic.
Tell me, why are you so good to me?
Shall I climb up and tell you why?
Brother, my guy, like I've never seen a guy have everything handed to him on a platter like that. Like, it just doesn't exist with females today. No, there's...
You know, I've been thinking it's not safe for you to roam around Chicago looking for this George Kaplan man you've been telling me about.
Can't let you get involved. Too dangerous.
I'm a big girl.
Yeah, and in all the right places, too.
She the undercover agent. I'm saying it right now. Like, I'm calling it.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. You know that, don't you?
Yes,
I mean, we've hardly met.
that's right.
How do I know you aren't a murderer?
You don't.
Maybe you're planning to murder me right here tonight.
Shall I?
I will refrain from saying another comment right now again. I was about to say. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna.
You've got taste in clothes, taste in food.
But he about to stick that thorn in her. No! I'm having too much fun with this romance. It's so well done. Don't make any noise in the washroom, man.
Thank you, Porter.
Thank you, ma'am. Good night now.
Good night.
Come out, wherever you are.
Yo, this woman.
The porter.
So I see.
Yo, she living up to her Kendall name. I'm telling you that. If you get what I mean, Kendall Jenner. Okay, I'll stop.
Where were we?
Here.
Only one bed.
Yes.
Well, that's a good omen, don't you think?
Wonderful.
You know what that means?
Hmm.
What? Tell me.
It means you're going to sleep on the floor.
Yeah, bro, she put in on a performance. She knows what she's doing.
A message from the lady in 3901.
What do I do with him in the morning? Okay, Eve. No, I reckon she's still... I think she's the undercover individual with Van Damme. Yo, he using her shaver. I just have a quick question. There was a scene before, I think it was around here. Yeah. Like a couple minutes ago where Eve and Thornhill were walking sort of on the train tracks and the camera held it was just like the camera held its shot upon them walking and they were walking obviously forward, but the camera maintained focus on them two. It was racking focus on them and the background was obscured or sort of blurred out a bit, but you saw the normal humans commuting and just walking in the background carrying their luggage. But it almost seemed as if it was like sort of like on a sound stage. It was like a wallpaper or inserted later in post, sort of like they were walking in sort of like on a sound stage, but the background was like sort of stock footage or footage taken after and inserted there. Is that true? Am I right there? Or was it just actually filmed on a train platform and it just looks off because of how out of focus the background was and they're all in focus in frame? Just a question. Planted him in the middle of nowhere. Oh, Mr. Kaplan is making an entrance. Mr. Kaplan. Nah, $10 is gonna be the plane. Okay, it might not be the plane. I might be wrong. I love how you're just waiting in anticipation. Just like Roger. Who's gonna make the first move?
Hot day.
Seen worse.
Mr. Plane.
Are you supposed to be meeting someone here?
Waiting for the bus. Due any minute.
Oh.
Some of them crop duster pilots get rich. They live long enough. That plane's dusting crops where there ain't no crops.
Oh, the thing does it have guns rigged to it? Or is he shooting from the pilot seat? Just a theory. Imagine Eve Kendall's actually Van Damme and the undercover agent's one of the guys, but Just a theory, just a guess, but like a potential other guess. This whole sequence here, like the last 5-10 minutes, as soon as Roger was dropped off at the bus stop or where he was dropped off, the framing has been spectacular. Also, Hitchcock hasn't inserted like any sort of suspenseful music, any sort of, you know, fast-paced action type of, you know, soundtrack into here. As soon as Roger was dropped off, all you could hear was just the normal diegetic sounds, like the natural sounds, the cars driving by. Oh, damn! That right there looked like a miniature. Like a really well designed model right there of the explosion. Yo, whoever was piloting that went for it. They went for it, do or die. Yeah, like in that sequence right there, whether it be Roger's feet sort of stomping on the gravel and dirt, the sort of faint sounds of the plane, sort of the engines motoring in the distance. Yeah, it was just the scenery and the sound that was doing the talking right there in that scene. I liked it. He's not gonna expect him. He's not gonna expect to see him here. Did she potentially, if she is the undercover agent, did she potentially see him as a loose end? And she wanted to take out that loose end because he could potentially blow her cover.
Miss Eve Kendall is expecting me. She's in room 4 something or other. I've forgotten the number. Would you mind?
I love how he went from Mr. Kaplan's expecting me to Miss Eve Kendall's.
She's in 463. Oh, yes, that's right. Thanks. Hello. Surprised?
Yes.
Alright, don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Come on. We are better than this.
I could use a drink.
How did it go today?
Oh, to die. And she probably thought he was dead because the pilot and him. That's what she thought. She thought that he was taken out.
The meeting with Kaplan?
Uh-huh.
It went well.
He didn't show up.
Oh?
It's funny, isn't it?
Well, why don't you call him back again and see what happened?
I did. He checked out. Went to South Dakota.
South Dakota?
Mm-hmm. Rapid City. Oh, my little helper, aren't you? Thank you.
You gonna poison his drink?
A long and lasting friendship. Meaning, from now on, I'm not going to let you out of my sight, sweetheart.
You're gonna get knocked out from the drink.
I'm afraid you'll have to.
Wouldn't it be nice if my problems and your plans were somehow connected? Then we could always stay close to each other. Not have to go off in separate directions. Togetherness, you know what I mean?
But I have a feeling, I was like, he might pass out from the drink. He might be spiked.
Goodbye. Good luck. No conversation, just leave.
Bam.
Right away?
Yes.
No questions asked?
Yes.
No, I can't do that.
Please.
After dinner.
Now.
You know what? At least she didn't leave him on red. At least she didn't ghost him. At least she said it straight up to his face, unlike some other girls to me.
After dinner. Fair is fair.
I'll relate. Sad times.
All right. On one condition, that you let the hotel valet do something with this suit first. You belong in the stockyards looking like that.
Now, what could a man do with his clothes off for 20 minutes?
Hey, yo.
Couldn't he have taken an hour?
You could always take a cold shower.
That's right. Ever kill anyone? Because I bet you could tease a man to death without half trying. Stop trying, huh? I think I'll take that cold shower after all.
Good.
He's whistling, singing in the rain. The benefits of closed captions and watching with subtitles. The spy herself is being spied upon. Well, I think she's a spy, but we'll see. Oh, he doing the old trace over technique.
1,000, thank you. 1,000 at 1,000, say 1,100. Can I hear 1,100? Selling at 1,000.
The three of you together. Now, that's a
1,000
picture only
twice.
Charles Adams could draw.
You disappoint me, sir.
I was just going to say that to her.
I always understood you were a pretty shrewd fellow at your job. What possessed you to come blundering in here like this? Could it be an overpowering interest in art?
Yes, the art of survival. Well, have you poured any good drunks lately?
He followed me here from the hotel.
150, thank you. Now say the 2. Do I hear 2? 200, thank you. Now the 3. Do I hear 3? 300, anyone?
The actress that plays Kendall, what's it? Oh, Eva Marie Saint. That sounds like an iconic Hollywood name, doesn't it? Eva Marie Saint. Like, it sounds like a staple Hollywood name. Like, I wonder if she was massive at the time, because she's got the looks to be like the Marilyn Monroe of the time, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm wrong, but like she does have that aura about her. But she is a fantastic actress with her facial expressions and emotions. Without even seeing things, like, my assumption is that she's the undercover spy for the agency, and she's sort of Van Damme's girl and under his wing, and played that part really well. And she does a really good job at emoting when she's sort of stunned or rattled. And you've seen that before in things that have Roger said to her, where he sort of caught her off guard and she sort of acts stunned and rattled a little bit. And this is another situation right here where she's trying to maintain her composure and not sort of let it slip. And yeah, she does it really well.
300, thank you. Now the 4. Do I hear 4? 400, anyone?
I didn't realize you were an art collector. I thought you just collected corpses.
500.
She's worth every dollar of it. Take it from me.
Oh.
She puts her heart into her work. In fact, her whole body.
Then to Mr. Van Damme at 700.
And you play the fugitive from justice, supposedly trying to clear his name of a crime he knows he didn't commit. Now you play the peevish lover, stung by jealousy and betrayal. Seems to me you fellows could stand a little less training from the FBI and a little more from the actor's studio.
Like I said, it is the FBI.
Apparently, the only performance that'll satisfy you is when I play dead.
In your very next role, you'll be quite convincing, I assure you.
$25. Thank you. 375.
Bro, this guy here,
375, go the
his
400.
right-hand man or bodyguard, has a punchable face.
400 is bid.
I wonder what subtle form of manslaughter is next on the program. You're going to ask this female to kiss me again and poison me to death. Who are you kidding? You have no feelings to hurt.
I love the positioning right there, the framing, and it was just a simple, steady shot right there. But the way it was framed and the positioning of the characters, you had Van Damme to the right, Roger to the left, talking to him, and they're all both standing up and sort of, what's her name? Eve Kendall was sort of sitting in the middle of the frame right there, basically showing she has no power in this scene here. She can't sort of blow her cover, if my assumption is right that she is the agent, and she can't sort of stand up to Roger as she just did right there, but that was sort of her breaking out of character, if that makes sense. Sort of her voice is submissive in this scene. She can't say anything. She has to maintain her character and play a role, and the men were doing the talking. But at the same time, her facial expressions were fantastic again, in terms of, like, if she is the undercover agent, there's a like single innocent man right there, assuming the role of Kaplan, who potentially is caught in the crossfire and is gonna die. And this is an individual who she may have feelings for. So yeah.
How much to start the bidding on this collector's porcelain? Restart the bidding?
There's the FBI captain.
They're selling at 1,200. Do I hear 1,300, please?
If anything, Eve is caught in the crossfire as well at the moment because she can't do anything. She's helpless.
Thank you. 2,250 twice. Last call.
1,500.
Well, the bid is already up to 2,250.
I was just like,
I still say 1,500. 1,200.
Sold for 2,250. And now
2,250 for that chromo.
You're no fake. You're a genuine idiot.
Oh, burn.
I wonder if I could respectfully ask the gentleman to get into the spirit of the proceedings here.
All right, I'll start it at 8.
800. Thank you.
$8.
900. 1,000 is bid. Go 12.
11.
11 is bid. Say 13.
$13.
I knew he would say.
1,300.
No, I mean $13. That's more than it's worth.
Talk about standing out and putting on a show.
I have 1,200. 2,000.
He's like,
2,100.
he's like, brother, what are you doing?
I'm sorry, sir, but we can't.
Make it 2,500. Ask him to leave.
Bro, take the 2,500.
Would the gentleman please cooperate?
The last bid was 1,200. 2,500. My money is as good as anybody's.
I have 1,200 once. 1,200 twice.
3,000.
Sold for 1,200.
What the heck, man? Take the 3K.
Now, I'm not going to let you get away with that. That's unfair. You'd better leave, sir. No, you take your hands off me or I'll sue you.
Oh, there's that left hook. Oh, he hit him with a body shot as well. Yeah, my guy can.
I'm sorry, old man. Too bad. Keep trying.
Hey, better going away with the cops than some mercenaries. Or assassins.
The jackpot. Chicago police capture United Nations killer. My name is Roger Thornhill.
Code 76. Wanted by NYPD.
I love how stunned the cop is.
Absolutely, no question.
This way, Mr. Thornhill. Wait a minute. We haven't much time. This way is more happy.
Oh, he played his cards right. Like, he's probably luckier to be in the hands of the FBI
I
here.
don't think I caught your name.
I don't think I pitched it.
You're police, aren't you? Or is it FBI?
FBI, CIA, ONI, we're all in the same alphabet.
Oh, okay.
No, Mount Rushmore.
Well, thank you. I've seen Mount Rushmore.
So is your friend, Mr. Van
I
Dam.
love how the signage says Northwest on the
Van
wing
Dam.
on the plane and
A rather formidable kind of gentleman, eh?
the elevator things.
What about that treacherous little tramp with him?
Miss Kendall?
Yeah.
His mistress. We know all about her. No such person as George Kaplan.
What do you mean there's no such person? I've been in his hotel room. I've tried on his clothes. He's got short sleeves and dandruff.
Believe me, Mr. Thornhill, he doesn't exist. Which is why I'm going to have to ask you to go on being him for the next 24 hours.
Oh, bro, I literally called it at the beginning of the film about him having to, like, assume the role.
We'll discuss it on the plane.
I'm guessing that's intentional here, that the noise is drowned out by the airplane engine.
Now look, you started this decoy
So we
business,
don't
now,
hear
you
what was
finish
said,
it.
and it's actually put to plan
we might have
tomorrow.
stumbled into it.
I think you ought to give me a medal and a very long vacation instead of asking me to go on being a target, just so that your special agent or whatever you call him doesn't get shot at.
Oh, not shot at, Mr. Thornhill. Found out. Once found out, they're as good as dead.
I'm an advertising man, not a red herring. I've got a job, a secretary, a mother, 2 ex-wives, and several bartenders dependent upon me. And I don't intend to disappoint them all by getting myself slightly killed. The answer is no.
I don't suppose it would matter to you that she was probably forced to do whatever she did in order to protect herself?
There we go.
Protect herself from what?
Exposure and assassination. You see, Mr. Thornhill, she's one of our agents.
Oh, no.
I know you didn't mean it, but I'm afraid you have put her in an extremely dangerous situation.
He's almost compromised her.
It's quite obvious to him last night that she'd become emotionally involved. Worst of all, with a man he thinks is a government agent.
You trying to tell me that I'm irresistible?
I'm trying to remind you that it's your responsibility to help us restore her to Van Damme's good graces, right up to the point he leaves the country tonight.
How much did you have in mind?
I want the girl.
Woo! That's a big price.
I want the girl to get what's coming to her. You turn her over to me, and I'll see there's enough pinned on her to keep her uncomfortable for the rest of her life. You little fool.
You just stay away from me.
Oh!
No good, sir. You can't get involved in this.
I'm guessing this is all an act here for Van Damme to regain the trust of Kendall, and he's potentially wearing some bulletproof vest underneath. And they think, obviously, and Van Damme is under the impression that Kaplan's out of the equation now, so they're in the all clear, but they're really not. Great performance again. I hope it is, but great performance again. Unless she fired blank shots.
Don't be long.
You didn't get hurt. I'm so relieved.
Of course I was hurt. How would you have felt?
I mean, in the cafeteria when you fell, when I shot you with the blanks.
Oh, that? No.
You did it rather well, I thought.
Yes, I thought I was quite graceful.
Considering it's not really your kind of work. Men like you.
What's wrong with men like me?
They don't believe in marriage.
I've been married twice.
See what I mean?
I may go back to hating you.
Third time lucky. Third time lucky.
Couldn't we stand like this for just a few hours?
Just this time, you're supposed to be critically wounded.
I never felt more alive.
Well, whose side are you on?
Yours always, darling.
Please don't undermine my resolve just when I need it most.
After your malevolent friend Van Damme takes off tonight, you and I are going to get together and do a lot of apologizing to each other in private.
No, that can't be.
Of course it can be. If you fellas can't lick the Van Dams of this world without asking girls like her to bed down with them and fly away with them and probably never come back, perhaps you ought to start learning how to lose a few cold wars.
Facts.
I'm afraid we're already doing that.
I'm not going to let you
Now,
do this.
please don't spoil
Now, come on,
everything
get
now,
up.
please.
Damn, you got knocked the fuck out. Oh, he's gonna go into the other, the other hospital room and dip out that way. Watch there be a joke.
Oh, excuse me.
Yo, I was like. I was like, watch there be a joke with a patient or something, and it ends up this being this attractive blonde girl again. It's like, stop! What are you doing? Stop! Well, damn! I put on the glasses. She put on the shades. Hey, yo, Roger's just a chick magnet, man. What is this? This guy's a player. This guy's like the first James Bond, man. I love how Mount Rushmore is in like the background of a lot of shots as well. Like, I know it's the location, but like Hitchcock is like intentionally put it in the background of a lot of shots.
Sure you don't want me to take you up there?
No, thanks. Never mind. This is fine.
Oh, thanks.
I wonder if this was like the staple for like the first, or like the influence for the James Bond character and for like that spy and espionage genre. This film right here. And sort of like the undercover individual, whether a woman or a man, being like sort of that womanizer type figure or like romantic type figure, so like a playboy and things like that. I can't remember when the like I don't know when the first James Bond books were written, so I'm not too sure about that. He just warned him that she's not to be trusted. The old throwing rocks at the window trick. Except this time it's coins.
You must have had some doubts about it yourself.
Got the gun
Still
ready
do.
behind him.
Rubbish.
That wasn't a blank.
The gun she shot Kaplan with.
Oh no. Okay,
She
okay.
found it in her luggage.
It was a blank.
It's an old Gestapo trick. Shoot one of your own people to show that you're not one of them.
Oh, he is right. He is right.
What was that noise?
The performance continues.
Yes, we wondered what it was too, didn't we, Leonard? Hurry on down, darling. It's almost time to leave.
That was your bullshit, darling. That's what the noise was. I'm interested to see what... I was about to say Kaplan. But I'm interested to see what Roger comes up with to dispatch of everyone in this household. Because he's untrained. But the individual that is trained, let's see what she comes up with as well. They're handicapped. Let's see how they can triumph. Nice.
Jump in, Leonard. The champagne's fine.
There isn't time.
You always were a spoil sport, weren't you?
He's just gonna drop it on her.
One of my most valuable attributes, as it now turns out. It would please me if you would think of me as being along on this journey. If only in spirit.
I shall, Leonard.
He's heading pretty far out on the north leg and awfully high.
Yeah, she noticed
he's
it.
Better play it safe with a long, slow descent. Couldn't ask for a better night than this. Ceiling and possibilities unlimited.
Come along, Eve.
All right.
You know, earlier on in the film,
I think I left my earrings upstairs. I'll be right down.
that suspicious glance. Earlier on in the film, Roger was almost taken out by an airplane, and I wonder if there might be some poetic justice here where Van Damme and his boys will be taken out by the airplane.
We can get out through the window. There's a car downstairs.
What are you doing here, Roger? You ruin everything.
Now listen to me. They know all about the fake shooting. They're going to do away with you.
What are you talking about?
Leonard found the gun with the blanks in it in your luggage. And the figure that they got at the auction sale last night is filled with microfilm.
That's how he's been getting it.
Stay where you are.
Frickin' housekeeper.
I was wondering about my earrings.
Oh, they'll turn up.
Remember I said before about her maintaining composure and not letting that composure sort of be compromised and her emotions getting the best of her and starting to slip? This is that situation here where before at the art gallery or at the art sale, at the bidding auction, so at the auction, sorry, she had to maintain that composure. You can tell she was struggling to, but she had to maintain it, and then she let it go a bit when she slapped Roger. But here, she's just out of control at the moment. She's letting her emotions compromise her.
When you return to New York, say goodbye to my sister for me.
Yo, how did Roger get away with a gun pointed straight to his...
Get that figure back from her.
I want to know how. I want to know how he got it. How did he slip out of that situation?
The housekeeper had me pinned down for 5 minutes before I realized it was that same silly gun of
Oh, okay, it was the same blank one. No one's got a real gun here. On top of Mount Rushmore.
What do we do?
Climb down.
Did Hitchcock recreate the set of Mount Rushmore? I'm guessing they did, unless they actually got permission to film there. But I'm guessing they just recreated the set of Mount Rushmore. I'm guessing maybe some of the establishing shots were Mount Rushmore, like the actual location, but the rest was probably just the soundstage.
If we ever get out of this alive, let's go back to New York on the train together. All right?
Is that a proposition?
It's a proposal, sweetie.
What happened to the first 2 marriages?
Oh, my wives divorced me.
Why?
Oh, I think they said I led too dull a life.
My guy's waiting to pounce. He's waiting to pounce. Yo. Roger got that strength. He got that strength.
Help me.
Hey, if this guy helps them, fair play. It's the FBI agent, isn't it? Oh, it's the boss. It's the boss. Like, came to the rescue. Oh, the whole team came to the rescue. Okay.
Thank you, Sergeant. That wasn't very sporting, using real bullets. Here, reach.
They finally used real bullets.
Come on, I've got you. Come along, Mrs. Thornhill.
What a cut. What a transition. I mean, they did catch the train back to New York. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. That was my reaction to North by Northwest. Yeah, what can I say? I enjoyed it. I don't think, in my opinion, it is Hitchcock's best work. In terms of, like, I don't know. I think Psycho, Vertigo, The Birds, and what was the other one I saw? Oh, there goes my camera. Wait, great. I think their other films, just, I had much more of an experience watching them, in my opinion. But I do think this is a solid film still. I really enjoy it. I think in terms of, like, sort of like a romance weaved in with sort of a spy, espionage, undercover story, it is done really well. I mean, you can tell how this film sort of, I'm not sure if it was the staple or, like, sort of the groundwork or the foundation for, like, other spy films that came in the future. You know, you've got the evil individual with his base of operations at the end, you know, the evil lair, the household, and things like that. But in my opinion, what carried this film was the romance and the way the dialogue was written with the romance. I thought it was really well done. Those two characters really carried the film, Roger and Kendall, in my opinion. I think from a technical perspective, the film is solid. Like, it's Hitchcock doing his Hitchcock thing. Nothing outstanding in terms of, like, some of the outstanding one-take shots in Rope and things like that. But it was really, like, great. There was some fantastic framing and some fantastic long shots utilized in this film as well, and, like, some fantastic I guess soundstage work and some fantastic models being used as well, like in particular some of the long shots being used in the film where you have close up of the characters and the backgrounds. It cut to, like, sort of like a long shot of the house sort of at the end there. It was great, but I think the romance is what really carried the film, and sort of you had this sort of spy espionage story woven into it, and it was really well written, and it really got straight into the sort of framing, or sort of the nitty gritty sort of. It really got into the story of Roger being sort of mistaken for this Kaplan individual. It really got straight into the point, like in the first couple of minutes of the film, and then you sort of unpack how this individual sort of was mistaken for this identity, and how this identity was created, who are the parties involved, and things like that. So yeah, if you've been staring at a blank green screen at the end here, listening to my thoughts, fair play. But as always, guys, I hope you enjoy my reaction to Alfred Hitchcock's North by Northwest, a solid film, and I can see why this is an iconic Hollywood film, and it is in the top 250 because I can see where the foundation and groundwork was laid for, like, sort of like the 007 films and things like that. So as always, been your boy Elie Moses. Take care. God bless. Peace.